And Prime Minister Netanyahu has revealed that the International Red Cross refused to give medicine to the hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza. The Prime Minister said, "I handed them a box. The representative said no." This is just the latest report on how the Red Cross has refused, in opposition to its mandate and its mission, to help the hostages. And joining us now to discuss is CEO of International Legal Forum, Arsen Ostrovsy, who has been at the forefront of the global campaign calling out the Red Cross and demanding that they live up to their mission and do more to help Israeli hostages. First of all, the latest story told from the Prime Minister himself, it sounds simply outrageous, and it isn't the first time we've heard this, and also heard similar stories from the families of the hostages. How can it be?
Absolutely outrageous. You know, this is just the latest dark stain on the history of the Red Cross, which goes back all the way to the Holocaust, when the organization quite literally abandoned the Jewish people. And they're doing so again. They're abandoning the Jewish people. They're abandoning the Israeli hostages. Their primary mission, their sacrosanct mission, is to help hostages and provide humanitarian relief to those in need. And since October 7th, the Red Cross has not seen a single hostage. They have not provided a single proof of life. They have not delivered any medicine whatsoever. The Red Cross prides itself on being unwaveringly neutral, but yet when it comes to Israeli lives, the Red Cross is simply unwaveringly absent.
It's just maddening. The Red Cross has a mandate. Its mandate, as stated on its website, is that it's an independent, neutral organization ensuring humanitarian protection and assistance for victims of armed conflicts and other situations of violence. But when it comes to Israel, why are they failing to fulfill the mandate?
Absolutely. You know, the Red Cross, they have condemned the taking the hostages, and they have called for their release, but with all due respect, simply politely, you know, calling for their release is not enough. The fact that they're dealing with a ruthless terrorist jihadist enemy is not enough. It does not absolve them of their responsibility. And in the latest, one of the most outrageous statements, the president of the Red Cross suggested that their role might be made a little bit easier, perhaps if Israel were to meet the demands of Hamas. Now, that in itself is something just outrageous. They want us to meet the demands of the very terrorist group that kidnapped, that took hostage children, women, elderly, that raped, murdered, massacred, and burnt innocent civilians. Quite frankly, the Red Cross has lost all pretext of neutrality here.
Are there grounds for action here? Should people and nations stop sending donations to the International Red Cross? Really, what can be done here?
Look, the fact that the Red Cross is not fulfilling its mandate, and quite frankly, I think that they are refusing to fulfill their mandate, even by refusing to deliver medicine that the families of the hostages have pleaded with them to take, they've refused that as well. There is no dispute about that whatsoever. In terms of what actions can be done, there are a number of options. Now, the Red Cross as an international organization does have a level of immunity, so it does make it more difficult to take legal action against them in courts. However, they're not immune from public pressure, for sure. Take the steps, for example, that Congress can take. The US is the single largest state donor to the Red Cross in the last year, giving some $700 million. Congress, and by the way, not just the US Congress, but parliaments all over the world ought to be asking questions of the Red Cross. They need to be asking, where is that money going? Why has the Red Cross not seen a single hostage? Why has the Red Cross not fulfilled their mandate, their duty? And where was the Red Cross this entire time that Hamas was building terror tunnels and operations in the hospitals and in the tunnels under the hospitals, right under the very nose of the Red Cross? Where have they been all this time?
It's really shameful. Many questions. Arsen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.